Welcome to the Peterson Automotive Museum. I'm Alan Taylor. This is the vault where the Craftsman Experience LA lives. Today, I'm going to show you how to clean your headlights. Not only clean them, but restore them with a basic tool, just a regular old drill, and a spray bottle. The reason why is you're going to do a little bit of wet sanding to polish them out. It's a real simple process. We're going to go up to the museum's parking garage and find somebody's headlights that needs to be restored. Let's go. So here we are. We need just a few tools. The first thing you want to do, put on some clothes you don't mind getting a little splatter on, because we are going to be buffing. Here's a 2005 Nissan Altima, 75,000 miles. The headlights, they're getting a little hazy. They've kind of started to wear out a little bit because the fact is it's just got road miles on it, and that you're getting rock chips and bugs and everything, and then the sun is beating down on it. So the headlights get hazy, and guess what? You don't get to see out in front of you nearly as well. It's cutting down your headlight's job, which is to get light onto the road. So not only does the car not look so good, and if you want to sell it, that's the first thing. You never get a second chance to make a first impression, and the headlights and taillights are jewelry. So you can not only do this to the headlights, but you can do it to the taillights as well. But the first thing you want to do is get your tools. And what do you have? First of all, you got to have a little Craftsman drill. Put trust in your hands. This is really all you need to do this. 12 to 1600 RPM drill. You don't want to go too slow. You don't want to go too fast. 3M makes a great lens renewal kit, and thanks to 3M, they make it to where you can open it without having a big bad pair of scissors. It comes with everything you need: tape, a little buffing compound, and your basic tools to do it, which is sandpaper and your buffing pad. And they've laid it all out in these great instructions, 17 steps to having great headlights, right? So I've read this. It's all pretty basic, simple stuff. You want to have a pair of safety goggles, or if you're like me, you need to have your glasses on. And basically, you just get your drill, open it up, close it, you're ready to go. Read the instructions. And another thing, the other thing you need basically, because at some point you're actually going to be wet sanding, so you need a little bit of water to keep it moist. But I mean, this is a real basic, everybody's got a drill. 1200 to 1600 RPM drill, because you don't want to go too slow and you don't want to go too fast. If you go too fast, it'll burn the headlight, and then you got to go through a whole new process to do it. And the reason why I have this is because I don't want to be bending over. I want to sit down to do my job. So the first thing you want to do is clean the surface. And you can just basically, just to get the dead bugs and all the road grime off. Doesn't have to be anything particular. We're just going to clean the surface. Then you tape it off. It comes with 3M tape, and all you do is tape off the edges. And the reason for that is you want to make sure that you do not get into your paint job. And you want to double it up, actually. Not a bad idea, because just in case you get a little sloppy, you're protecting your paint. So now we're ready to go ahead and sand. Just make sure that you're tight, depending on what drill you use. You might have to use a chuck, but you put the sandpaper on. It's got like a Velcro surface, so very simply put it on there. And another thing you want to do is you do not want to use an edge. You want to find out, you know, basically you want to have it completely perpendicular to the surface. And if there's lines in your headlight, you want to make sure that you're careful of those lines. There's also, on some headlights, they have little guide pins sticking out. And really, it won't hurt anything if you hit them, but it'll actually wear out the sandpaper. And since you only have so many pieces, you just want to stay away from those. So here we go. Another thing is you don't want to stop right sitting still, because you'll just be sanding into the headlight. Makes more work for yourself. You're going to see this headlight look like, oh my gosh, I'm destroying it, but you have to do this. You're going to take off all the old, and you're going to be carving it down in steps, starting out with the 500 grit, then the 800 grit, then the 3000 grit sandpaper, and eventually you're going to polish it out. So I'm getting rid of all the old surface. And every now and then you want to just take, you know, a rag or whatever it is, wipe it off, take a look at it, make sure, because like this headlight is not really that bad. Some of them are just going to be peeling up. So every now and then you have to reposition yourself. If you need to put more rows of tape on here to keep away from the paint, if you do hit the paint, not the end of the world, because you've got a little buffing pad and you've got the compound. You just buff it out just a little bit at the same time. And you got to make sure you get the position right. So this leading edge down here, a little difficult to get at that angle, so I'm going to reposition. So there, step one done. Take off the 500 grit sandpaper, move to the next step, because we're going to go down to a lower degree sandpaper, 500 to 800. Once again, clean the headlight. Start sanding. Now it should look hazy like this, and you think to yourself, I'm never going to be able to fix this, but the reality is every step you do, again, the manual, just keep it close, just read it 2 or 3 times if you have to, but all you're doing is removing all the old surface, and you're going to end up with a shiny jewel-like headlight. Now the weirdest part of all, you're going to wet sand. I've put on this 3000 grit sandpaper, which it just doesn't look like or feel like anything at all, but there is sandpaper on it. So you wet it because you want it to be moist. Now we're going to sand this, and you're going to repeat that process. So I have a spray bottle, really simple. You want this to be moist. You're going to see it making some paste out of these scratches. We're taking it down from 500 grit to 800 grit, now to 3000 grit. As a matter of fact, you see the scratches going away automatically. It'll start to brighten up again. Now we're going to bring it to a shine. I know the process seems a little bit scary, but you know, as you take it down, you're basically polishing a diamond. That's the same way they get the diamond to shine, is just by polishing. So what we're doing is we've removed all that dead skin off the top of the headlight, and as you've removed it, you've had to continue to bring it up back into an area where you could polish it out to where it shines. And you can see the headlight is now hazy, but the reality is we are bringing it up a step at a time, and we've almost restored this headlight. I think we're ready for some polish. Included with this kit from 3M is some rubbing compound, and this is the last step of sanding. Ultimately, it turns into polishing now. We're going to polish this, and then you want to get some plastic cleaner for it. What you do is you put about a dime size amount on right on the actual pad. Here comes the shine. And I move it in big circular motions or back and forth. You don't want to stay in any position in a too long of a period of time, because again, it'll start to turn into heat because you do have a compound on there. But you see how our headlight is now starting to shine. This is a restored headlight that makes the vehicle worth more. It looks better. It does its job better because now the headlights are getting the light to the road better. So you'll notice that as soon as you drive it for the first time. And you know what? When you're done, just take off all the masking tape and everything, and basically unveil to the world your restored headlight. There you have it. Of course, the car does need to be cleaned, but for about 25 bucks, you do both your headlights. You can catch the tail lights too, and maybe your neighbors. Do your mom and dad a favor, clean up their headlights. You're a hero. Now, if you were going to have this done at a shop, probably cost you 150 or 200 bucks. If you're going to detail your car yourself, you'd spend $250. So if you do these things yourself, you're going to save 500 bucks. Does the car go up in value? Heck yes. Easier to sell, more enjoyable to own it if you're going to continue owning it. Well, that's it for me. I'm Alan Taylor. Thanks for watching. Craftsman Experience is going to bring you more easy things to make your life better.